Any message that hasn't been properly conveyed from one party to the other has lost its basis of communication. A lot of times, this happens around us, wherein you're trying to tell someone a certain thing, but they are not hearing what you're saying. And so they do something totally different from what you were trying to communicate. Hi, welcome to today's episode of Thriving with Grace. Today we'll be talking about communication and how sickle cell warriors can leverage the power of communication in everything they do. But this is part one. And on part one, we'll be focusing on communicating when in crisis. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Princess Samuel, and as you all know, I'm a faith-based communicator and I live with sickle cell. I'm a superwoman who lives with sickle cell. But anyways, today we will be talking about communication as a sickle cell warrior. What is communication? First, communication is the process of getting across a message, either an idea, an information, or a feeling from one person to the other. Now, communication is successfully translating what you have in your head, in your mind, to another person, such that when they do, it aligns with what you were trying to convey in your head. Now, if there's a breach between that information that was passed across, then we can gladly say that communication never happened. Yes, because effective communication, the message, the essence of the message must be clearly conveyed. As a sickle cell warrior, communication skills is one thing that we need to have. We must be able to communicate clearly at every point in time because, one, as a sickle cell warrior, you're the only one feeling the pain that you feel. No one else feels this pain. They can only sympathize with you and try to feel it, but they never get to know how intense, how gross this feeling is. And so you should be able to communicate and pass this message across. Pass exactly how you're feeling across so that they can know and tell what is wrong with you. Let's start with communicating with your doctor. As a sickle cell warrior, I would like to say that it is important that you have a constant communication channel with your medical doctor. This is because it gives you access for any time there's an emergency. Knowing how this thing happens, it usually would come when you're not expecting it, especially in the middle of the night, like a thief that it is, because it comes to steal your joy, right? But then, when you have a communication channel with your doctor, you'd be able to at any point in time buzz them and say, "Hi doctor, I'm currently in so much pain. I don't know what to do. I've taken this, I've taken that, and this is not helping. What can I do to suppress it?" And then your doctor would scale it and see how intense the pain is, or if you need to be taken to the hospital, or if it's something that can be managed by yourself. One thing is important as a warrior: you must be polite. First, communication. Learn to exchange pleasantries. I know that in this part of the world, no one gives a care about the other person. Everybody's all about themselves. But one thing is important: exchange pleasantries. Good morning, doctor. How are you doing today? Ask. If your doctor is not in a good state to help you, it would tell. It would tell in how they respond, in when they respond, and you'd also know how you expect it. But if you don't care about the other person, you're just thinking, "Oh, I sent a message, they didn't respond. I did it, they didn't," and then you start being angry and bitter, which is really unnecessary and uncalled for. Another thing you need to know how to do is to clearly state your situation. Don't go to a doctor's DM and say, "Hi, doctor," and then wait. Nobody has that kind of time, especially for a doctor or a medical professional whose job is fast paced. So, when you're in the space or if you have access to them, first things first, be concise with your message. "Hi, doctor. Good morning. How are you doing today? So, I wanted to check if this is a good time with you. I'm currently feeling so, 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 and so, 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 and so, so, and so." But you would wait. Check in to see if it's a good time with them. If they say no, then let them know that, okay, I can check in with you at other time. What time is free for you so that I can reach out to you? Or if he says yes, then you go ahead and tell him. If the pain you're in is so gross, tell him, send a voice note and say, I'm really sorry. I'm sending this voice note, but I'm in so much pain and I don't know what to do. And they'll be able to attend to you. That's one. The next part of communication is with health workers when you go to the hospital. Now, it is very important that you, as a caregiver, or you as a sickle cell warrior, know how to communicate with people. Be polite. Don't be rude. Don't be shouting. Don't be shouting. People are going through so much stuff in life. Why are you shouting at me when I want to just help you? It puts people off when you shout. Yes, I totally understand that at times we are in so much pain that it pushes us to, do things that naturally we would not do. But it is not enough grounds for you to shout at people. It is also important to be observant. Communication has different channels. One is the part of you speaking. Two is active listening. You need to listen to what people are saying. You need to listen to what they are also not saying. Sometimes they are saying things with undertones that are carrying a different message from what they are saying. I could be telling you that, oh, I'm fine, thank you. And in the reality of it, I'm not fine. I'm just trying to manage. I'm trying to hide my pain, which is sometimes I do this when I'm at work or I have things to do, but I'm in so much pain, but I still want to get the work done. So I could be saying I'm okay when I'm not. So you need to also pay attention. Active listening is another form of communication. Written form of communication exists, right? There's the spoken and the unspoken word. So you need to, if at that point you're finding it difficult to speak, you can write. Ask for a pen and paper and write exactly how you're feeling to the person, and they'll know how to do it. But one of the things I wanted to start with is how you come into the hospital. When you come into the hospital for your regular checkup, are you full of yourself? Do you say hello to the nurse, the security man, the receptionist? Sometimes this looks irrelevant and inconsequential, right? Sometimes you feel that those people don't count in the scheme of things. You're just here to see your doctor. But I tell you that as a warrior, everybody plays a critical part to your well being when you're ill. The speed at which the security man takes you in or allows you in when you're in a crisis, in the critical moment, would determine if you would leave or if that situation will go worse or if something will go haywire, right? Because 1 minute late and everything could end in the wrong way, right? The speed at which the receptionist responds to you or looks at you, those are some of the things you also need to look at. So when you're polite, hi ma'am, I'm so sorry, I'm in so much pain, this is how I'm feeling, please can you help me? Even when you come and it's a good time, say, I know that it's not in your job to do it for me, but please, I really need help, I'm in so much pain. Let them feel your emotions. Let them feel your pain as well. Don't be rude. Don't shout at them. I once used to use a hospital where the admin, and I was on a HMO, right? And the admin, the person who was supposed to check through the database, had a really loud voice. He's from a part of the nation where they really talk loudly and loosely. Yeah. And I personally know this because I've worked with a couple of people and I've learned to excuse it. But unfortunately, the people who came with me, my caregivers at the time, didn't understand this. So the way he was shouting, they responded back by shouting, and it got into a complicated situation wherein the man wouldn't process the documentation that was needed to be processed so that my treatment could start. Do you know what saved me at that point? A nurse. A nurse who had spoken to her. I would, in my very faint voice and whisper, I told her that I was going through so much. If she could only help me get out of this pain. And I pleaded with her sense of humanity. And she went ahead to help, to give me something to manage the pain, to help me sleep for the period before all the other documentation was sorted and they started treating me. But how you speak to them also matters. I've been in a place before where Whew, it was a terrible situation. I mean, today is not going to be it's not going to give us enough time to unpack some of the experiences I've had with health workers at government hospitals, especially because the private hospitals are far better, even though they're more expensive. But you get better care than at the government hospital. I've been at the hospital before on admission, where the nurse mentioned randomly, like the drip they were giving me was done, and I screamed like I was asking, "Ma, please, my drip is done. Can you come replace it?" And the next thing she died, "Please don't shout at me. Oh, I'm the only one attending this place. Why are you there? Is it me that need to be sick?" And sometimes they would say slightful things that would hurt you. They would say things that would make you feel sad. But at that moment, one thing I have learned is you do not need to surround yourself with thoughts, ideas, or people who would make you feel bad about yourself, because once you start entertaining negative emotions, you'd be in much more pain than you currently are. So it's good for you to surround yourself with things that would make you happy, that would be lifting your spirit instead of things that will pull you down. So when you see such situation, apologize immediately and say, "I'm so sorry, ma, that you're overwhelmed. I was just concerned about this. I apologize, ma. Sorry, ma. When you're free, you can do it." Her conscience will judge her to come through for you. Because at the end of the day, if that line goes bad, blocked, or the blood starts coming out and all, it will be on her, right? But you need to in that moment and be empathetic towards others, also be considerate of others. Yes, you could be in so much pain, but it is not ground enough for you to scream at others, shout at others, or even curse them, right? Because in the real sense of things, they're not the cause of your problems. Your parents are. Let's not allocate blames for now. Anyways, so communication is very, very important. Communication is important for you as a sickle cell warrior in getting proper care, in how you're being treated, even in communicating with your caregivers at home. When you're still feeling the pain before you have been transported to the hospital, letting them know that, okay, this pain I cannot manage again. There's a language that myself and my doctor use wherein he asked me, "How much pain are you feeling?" And I gauge my pain score on a scale of 1 to 10. So if I'm on a scale of 4, it means that, oh, it's just giving me knobs and telling me something's about to come. I can feel it. Usually it starts with my voice being cracked, and then I have this husky hoarse voice, and you just know that these are symptoms. I start feeling very lightheaded. I can't stand on my feet for long, which is usually weird, but they're always symptoms. At the pain score of 3 to 4, you already begin to feel that, okay, these things are this. So what do you do at such moments? You're supposed to go in and take your routine medication, what you use to manage the pain immediately. Observe it for the next 4 to 6 hours. See how the pain is doing. And if the pain intensifies, at that point, you should start telling people around you, "I don't feel too good. I've tried to manage it, but this is it, and the pain is still persistent." So they know what to do. So they know how to help you. Especially when the pain comes at midnight, at night, you should communicate immediately. "Help, help, I'm in so much pain. Help, help, I need to get to a hospital now." And sometimes people care for you so much that in their caring and loving, they forget what they're supposed to do and they panic. In the moment of loving someone so much, you just panic and your brain freezes. Not know what to do. So you should be able to clearly communicate and say, "I need to get to the hospital right now. My pain score is on a 7, or I need it to be checked," right? And then they would know what and how to do. Whilst we wrap up this episode of Communication Part 1, it would be good for us to remember that when we're communicating, it is important that we are polite. Be polite at all times, when you're in pain, when you're not in pain. Respect everyone you come across, the security man, the receptionist, the nurse, whoever you meet on your way to the hospital would play a very significant role in saving your life. So never be rude. No matter the level of pain you're in, don't be rude. Don't be rude. And speak to your caregivers as well, to be patient with the health workers, because somebody around you could say the wrong thing that will mess everything up. and then they will not take care of you. God forbid it ends in the wrong way. Lastly, have a clear communication channel with your doctor. It is important, it is needful for your emergencies, especially because you know that as a warrior, there are always emergencies. But note, do not use it as an opportunity to stress out the life of the doctor. The doctor is there to help you, not to be your savior. Don't dump every little pain on him. Learn to understand your body and manage it. It would go a long way. So, on that basis, we've come to the end of this episode. Yes, communication is a two-way channel. Never forget that what you're trying to convey, the message must be clearly passed across to the other person, and the person must be able to understand what you're saying. Also, listen, observe, and see if this is the right time or not the right time, so that your request can go through easily. Because if you make a request, even if it's the right request at the wrong time, it would not go through successfully. If you're living with sickle cell or any other chronic illness and you're seeking a community to join that would help you, encourage you, support you through the journey, this is where you belong. Click on the like button, share this video, and do subscribe so that we can grow together. Feel free to send me an email or a DM, a message in the comment section, and I will gladly respond. I'm here as your supporting friend and partner through this lifelong journey that we have been brought into. Until I come your way next time, stay happy, stay joyful, always. Mwah.